not everything can be done without speaking. Sometimes you might need a little bit of speaking, but the idea is that we're not going to do a lot of it, because otherwise you get people rolling their eyes going, oh, here we go, here's the big trying to rope me into this talk. So we're trying to reduce that as much as possible, although we are going to, in another session, we're going to talk about how to actually talk about the business at the party. So there is one part of it where you have to talk about it, but this is just putting in the hooks to get people interested first. So the products. Now, obviously you're going to talk about the products because that's what you're there for. But you need to use the products to be able to get across the idea that being a consultant is fantastic, because you've got access to all of the products in the range and they have changed your life. And because of that, you've been able to help other people change their life too, which is a really amazing part of this business, this part that I really love. So make sure when you're showing the products that you're really enthusiastic and you use lots of stories, because that's what people remember and that's what they relate to. So they need to be stories where you use the products and they made something better for you in your life. Or you can use stories about your customers where they had a problem and your products solved it. So just make sure that the stories are things that the guests will relate to. There's no point talking about things that they just simply don't get or means nothing in their life. And you'll be able to judge this when you're chatting to them before and during the party. Now these sorts of comments are really good for recruiting, because it does let people know how great it is to help other people solve their problems and that you can do that as a consultant. So women always like to help people, so it works out quite well. So you could make some comments, and these are just a starting point just to get you thinking. You know, these might not be things that you would want to say, but there's at least a starting point, and you can make your own ones up. But you could say things like, I'm really lucky because I've got the whole range to use whenever I want. Just pop that in somewhere. Or you could say, oh look, I really love getting to try the new products before anyone else gets to see them, because often companies will let the consultants have a play with them before they go on sale. Or you could say something like, the best part about my job is helping others deal with issues like ... and that's something that you've been talking about. So you can actually just drop it in, and if you do it in a really comfortable way, it's not going to look awkward and no one's even going to notice really, except for the people whose ears perk up, the ones whose button you're particularly pushing at that moment. Now, for the social contact, you only need to make little comments like, it's so nice to be out tonight because the children were really hard work today. That's a really good one, because anyone that's had a hard day with the kids, their little ears are going to perk up and listen to that. Or, I'm really enjoying being able to spend a few hours each week with people who get really excited about the products like I do. So there's a couple of ideas. Anyway, it's just dropping it in there, so you're not doing this full-on recruiting thing. You're just dropping it in there. So by being aware of some ways that you can communicate with very little words and just incorporating it in, you're going to be sowing lots of recruiting seeds without disrupting the flow or being annoying by going on. So the main key is just to make sure you press as many different buttons as you possibly can, so that anyone who could possibly be interested is awake and listening, and you're not going to miss anybody who's going to go and join another company because you don't offer what they want.